Hello, I'm at the start of the last movement of my symphony. I finished the third one. I wasn't 100% happy with it, but I figured it was better to just come to some form of conclusion, which I did, and to leave it be, and to see how I felt when I came back to it in my sort of polishing, beautification process, which will happen in a few weeks' time, I guess. So, fourth movement, and I'm thinking about tunes. I like tunes. Perhaps it's just nostalgia. But, it's part of life, isn't it? It's been part of my life. Tunes have been part of my life since a very early age. I sang in a church choir for many years, for example. Tunes, I think, have a deep psychological and sort of social meaning for us. So I want to write at least one tune, maybe a couple in this last movement, which are recognisable as hummable, singable tunes. They don't contain peculiar intervals or very complex rhythms that the voice would not be easily suited to. All right, here's the first one. Slightly odd intervals at the end, not particularly big ones. Big ones can be really tricky for singing, but that is a little bit, isn't it? Perhaps it would be easier to be and that would echo the downward semitone at the end of the first phrase with an upward semitone at the end of the second phrase. Maybe. I sort of quite like the first version, which is a little bit more modal. Hey, not sure. That sort of thing is, work in progress, and I've no idea, to be perfectly frank, whether I'm going to use that tune or not. It's just one that's come out of somewhere. It did actually come out of something I wrote in the second movement, I think. And I've now forgotten. How quickly one forgets these things. Here's a second one, which is based on a minor sixth, ascending minor sixth, he says, trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, yes, here we are. So this one goes like this. Quite like that rather inconclusive conclusion to that tune. That was a three-part tune, whereas the first one was a two-part tune. Don't know why. It's the sort of thing that could be perhaps used, a part, second part comes in a little bit late after a bit of a gap, third part comes in after a bit of a gap, could be joined together later on in some glorious fanfare-y thing, who knows. Of course, when you've got a tune, there are all sorts of possibilities of things to do with it. One thing I am keen to do is to start this movement in a fairly low-key way with something derived from possibly one of those tunes, a tune-like thing of some sorts, at any rate, before it gets into a rather faster section, which is the section I threw out of the third movement and put into the fourth. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Tunes. Yeah, let's think about that some more.